very excited, but I am not in costume. This is pretty much as Halloween-y as I go. Okay, so I'm super excited because today we are talking makeup tricks and treats. So it's really packed with all kinds of information. I'll try and timestamp everything below. I have so many tricks that I use that I've learned over the years, and I think you're gonna really love them. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. The first things first, Facetune in real life. Seriously, this stuff is incredible. So it is called Miracle Blur, and it's by L'Oreal. You can just pick it up at whatever drugstore that's near you. I got the oil-free version. It like completely covers and smooths everything. It's truly like Facetune in real life. This is what I use. It's like for lines, wrinkles, visible pores, even like skin complexion. Like, oh, it's amazing. So go get this. This is what your skin looks so smooth. It's amazing. Okay, next up, another tip for drugstores, specifically shoppers. So a trick that my friend Sarah, shout out to Sarah, told me is that you can use, so when you go to shoppers, they have like Smashbox, Cover FX, like all those top brands that you can also buy at Sephora. Buy your products, those top ends that they carry at shoppers and use your optimum points. It adds up really quickly and then you get free money to use on more makeup. So make sure you're doing that. Another tip that I really love, a little trick. So have you guys seen the Cover FX setting spray, and it has highlighter in it, or the Tatcha Luminous Glow, I think it's called. So what the high school girls are doing, I just learned this, I'm pretty excited, I'm in the 411, they are buying like a cheap setting spray. So this one, NYX, is like, I don't know, maybe 10 bucks from Shoppers, and they're crushing up a cheap highlighter and adding it into the setting spray and using that, and you get this really gorgeous dewy glow. You can pick whatever kind of highlighter you want. So if you want more silver tone, more gold tone, like whatever you want, buy a cheap one at Shoppers, crush it up, put it in here and use that. If you already have, like I do, the Cover FX drops, don't just put a little bit in and use it, and if you want more you can put more bit by bit, but this is already liquid gold. So that is like my favorite trick, makeup trick that I have. Okay, so next up is brows. So a couple tricks. Trim your brows. Guys, you can actually cut your brow hair. It's not weird. So I use this little Ardell brush I got off Amazon. You brush up and in a mirror, just slowly cut along the top to trim them, because it'll make you look way more awake when you're doing your brows and you're brushing upwards with the brush to make you'll look way more awake, and then you won't have hairs like glued up, because it happens. People grow long brow hairs. So trim them. You can trim them. It's okay. You're not gonna screw up. Well, try not to. Okay, so then another tip is you can get this really cheap. It's $4.99 at Shoppers, the Great Lash Clear Primer, and you can use that on your brows instead of going out and splurging. However, if you can, this Anastasia brow gel is amazing. This is just a sample, and I love it. It keeps your brows in place all day, whatever the weather, snow, rain, sleet, hurricanes, no matter what, your brows are gonna stay in place. So you can do the Great Lash one as a cheap alternative, but I actually would suggest this one over the drugstore brand, which I normally don't do. Okay, and then yes, always brush your brows up. And when you're doing your brows, use this trick. From the inner corner is where your brush should start. Then you go from your nose through your pupil. That's the highest point. And then you're gonna go just at the corner of your eye. That's where it should end, okay? this brow brush is so handy. Okay, another trick that I do all the time is I use gold eyeliner. I've talked about this before. It's really cheap. It's a NYX gold kohl eyeliner, and I line my lower waterline, and it makes my eyes pop. It is the coolest trick. I learned that from Gigi Hadid's makeup artist. He was talking about it, and he does it on her all the time. So that is my favorite trick. Another one is you don't have to go and get filler. You can use this stuff. Lip Fusion XXL plumping gloss. Another one I really love is the Buxom. I like White Russian, and it plumps your lips too. I am obsessed with this XXL. You can get it at Shoppers now, or you can get it off Amazon if you want. It's kind of pricey, but I've had mine forever, and it smells like bubblegum, so that's good. Okay, another trick. If you like spray tans, especially in the winter, check out your nearest Fabutan, sign up for their emails, and every couple months, they always do a 2-for-1 promo. So stock up during the 2-for-1 promo, and then you're saving so much money. You have cheap spray tans. And they're actually really good. I know people are probably rolling their eyes right now, but if you're in a pinch, those spray tans are actually really good. Just ask for no red or orange tones, just cool tones. And you can get a bronzer. I don't normally get a bronzer, but they're actually really good. Okay, next is, I'll be talking about this in my Vampy lip tutorial. What you do for an ombre effect is first lipstick, then lip liner. I know, totally backwards. But if you do the lip and then in a bit lighter of a lip liner line, it'll create this ombre lip effect that you can actually bring the liner in a bit more, and it looks amazing. Another trick with lip liner is if you want to keep your makeup or your lipstick in place all night. I hate when you go out and you're eating and drinking and talking and you go to the washroom and all of a sudden your lipstick's gone but your liner's still there. Why? So line your entire lip. I know, it's so crazy, but if you line your entire lip, then put lipstick over top, it doesn't matter if you're talking, drinking, whatever, even if the lipstick rubs off a bit, your liner's gonna stay in place. And I feel like the lipstick holds better onto the liner. Huge tip. I use that all the time when I have like going out for a dinner or a long night out, then I will use that. Okay, another tip is mix your foundations. Don't be scared to mix your foundations. It helps it last longer. So if you have an expensive foundation that you love, mix it with like another BB cream that's maybe a little less expensive, or with like a, I use my Becca highlight primer. I will link that one. I mix that in with my foundation all the time and it lasts way longer. And then, oh, another thing, use your base makeup to sharpen your brows. So you'll do your brows and then use whatever foundation you were using or BB cream for the top, and in the bottom you can use whatever concealer you use. So it all looks really, instead of like you'll wear foundation and all of a sudden you have this bright brow because you're using a really bright concealer, try the darker on top and then the lighter concealer on the bottom. It will make your brows pop and all kind of like look cohesive. It's a really good tip. Just FYI, that's a really good tip. And okay, so let's move on. So then what was my, oh yeah, my beauty blender here. Always wet this guy. It works way better when you wet him. So wet him, and then what I do is I take my face cloth or hand towel and I just squeeze it a bit to get the excess out. Way better. It bounces, your makeup looks amazing. And also, even when you're using powder with the beauty blender, wet the beauty blender. So what you're gonna do is it'll be a bit damp and you'll have your setting powder, dip it in, and it'll be all on here, and dab, 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 dab. There's gonna be powder all over. Leave it for a bit, brush it off, and oh, amazing. Your under eyes are gonna stay in place. And no creasing, that's my favorite part. Okay, and then also another tip for that is to wing, if you want winged eyeshadow, what you do, I always do my eyeshadow first, and then I do my concealer, and then I use my beauty blender and I work it out so it will cover up some of the eyeshadow here, and it'll make it look like a winged effect. If you want to bring it down after a bit more to the lower lash line to kind of sharpen it and make it a bit more dramatic, amazing. But you can wing eyeshadow just using your concealer and your beauty blender. If you want a softer look for in the daytime, don't go for your blackest black mascara. Keep a soft brown on hand, so it'll help, especially on your lower lashes. It won't look as harsh, so I really like that. And your lashes will look super naturally long with brown eyeshadow, which is weird because we always grab the blackest black. Well, I do. I don't know about you, but yes. Okay, so another one. You're gonna like this. It's using this. A tissue, a Kleenex, just one. To keep your lipstick in place all night, another tip is put it on like this. When your lipstick is all done, lay it across, and then dust the outside with your setting powder. So take your setting powder and your brush and just lightly dust, and it'll stay in place so well. That also is the trick for bleeding. If you have a lipstick that you love but it always bleeds, use that tip. It won't bleed, I promise. When you are really desperate, you're gonna be weirded out by this. Just full FYI. Okay, don't be weirded out. I learned this from Sarah Jessica Parker. If you're in a pinch and you have oil all over, you ran out of blotting paper, you can't find it, whatever, go to the washroom, use those toilet seat covers, I know, okay? And rip off, they're not used, they're just sitting there, rip off some and use that. That's literally blotting paper. Like it soaks up oil from your face and leaves your makeup in place. So this is desperate measures, people. That's always a tip that you can do. Okay, another thing, don't be afraid to use your makeup for other things. So, cheek highlighter can be used on your brow bone, cupid's bow, whatever, chest. Don't be scared to like mix things up. Speaking of body makeup, this is my holy grail. Oh my gosh, okay. This trick I've been using this for, oh my God, my friends in high school are probably like, okay, yeah, Treya, we know. Okay, airbrush legs, Sally Hansen airbrush legs. I've been using this forever. Stampede, this is like always in my bathroom. Creates a mess, so be very careful. Do it in the tub, put your legs in the tub, and then I spray it into my hand, and then I wipe, because this gets everywhere. Use it on your arms. If you're wearing a tank top, it is like the craziest body makeup, super cheap from Shoppers. Get this. Okay. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of information. Okay, if you guys have any question, I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I don't think so. I think that was everything. Okay. If you have any more questions, that is a lot of information. Soak it in and write them below. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos.
Thank you very much for coming out this evening.
Eat tons of candy.
Thank you.
I will talk to you guys later.
Fuck too kind. Hold your applause. This is your song, not mine. Thank you. Please hold your applause, for I just applied logic. Keys.